Hi everybody, before we get started with the readings, just a quick update. We are now at 47% for my Reiki Master Apprenticeship Program. Thank you all so much for all of your support, especially over the holiday season when everything gets stretched a little extra tight. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now on to the readings. Hello there, Libras. Thank you so much, everybody, for stopping by for your weekly tarot video forecast for the week of December 26th through January 1st. Happy New Year, everybody. Okay, so let's look at what you have. On Monday, you have a very positive card. This is the Empress showing up. This is telling me that you're very fertile, very productive on Monday. So if you're looking to have a child, this can be a good time to have a child. If you're not, this can be an awesome time to take precautions against that. But also this can come in as being very productive about work-wise, being very productive around the house, being very productive with some of your hobbies. You know, there's just a lot of productivity. Creativity is alive and well when we see the Empress card come up for you, Libras. And so drawing in those things that you really enjoy, drawing in those things that you love through that creative energy is what shows up here for you on Monday. On Tuesday, you do have the Emperor showing up in reverse. Emperor showing up in reverse, I'm not taking so much as you as much as it's somebody that you are interacting with on Tuesday. The main key thing that I'm picking up about this person is that they are not, well, the word I'm hearing is they are not trustworthy. So this is somebody who is generally in a position of authority, can be male, can be female. For most of you, it probably will be a male. And this is somebody who is twisting things to make things happen in their favor. So you just want to be alert about what's going on and make sure that you're aware about whatever you're offering this person or whatever you're committing to this person, that you're okay with how the real story is as opposed to just how this person is presenting the story to you. All right, so that's Tuesday. Wednesday, what we have showing up here is the Nine of Swords. Nine of Swords does tell me that there's some kind of stress that you're letting get to you in your life on Wednesday. Generally, when I see this card, it's stress about something that we really don't have that much control over. And so that's a lot of times that's why we stress out about something. I mean, if we had control over something and it was bothering us, we would do something about it. So we wouldn't have to stress, we would just take care of it. So the thing here is to try to make peace with whatever it is that's going on and find a way to be okay with letting the chips fall where they may, especially if you look at the situation and you realize that whatever you could do to influence it, you've already done. You know, then it's just time to step back and see what happens. You know, which way is the fur going to fly here? You know, is this going to turn out well or is this going to not turn out so well? But you have to just let it be what it's going to be and just know, take comfort in the fact that you've done the best that you could so that this thing could turn out in a positive way. All right, so Thursday, Libras. Queen of Coins showing up in reverse. What I'm hearing is you're not feeling so well on Thursday. Now, this card does have a couple of different meanings for me. So the first thing, like I said, that popped up, you're not feeling so well. So this is like physically or emotionally, you're just not up to normal par for you. Now, for some of you, though, this is going to come in the other way that this card shows up for me. And the other way it shows up is that, and I feel like this is going to be you, I feel like you're going to be getting tired of being generous towards someone in some way. You're going to start to realize that that generosity is not really doing what you were hoping that it would do to help that other person. And so you're going to say that's enough and you're going to cut it off. Now that's for a lesser amount of you. I feel like for the majority of you, you're just not going to quite feel up to par on Thursday. But there will be some of you that are going to be putting some boundaries and restrictions or cutting completely off somebody that you've been generous with. And for most of you, it's not so much about boundaries and restrictions as much as it's saying done. Done, done, done. Okay, so let's see. That's Thursday. Friday. 10 of Swords. 10 of Swords does talk about the ending of a cycle, that something is over. O-V-E-R. And you know what? I'm feeling like This may be a result of what happened on Thursday. For those of you that Thursday you were saying that's enough, done, 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 done. This could be the other person saying, you know what, if you're not going to do that for me anymore, I have no reason to communicate with you or to be, associate it with you. So this could be a real eye-opening experience where you may have thought that whatever was going on between you and this other person was deeper than just whatever you were doing for them. This could be eye-opening in that you see the true colors here, that this person really was just interested in your generosity towards them more than in you as a person or in any kind of relationship with you. So I feel like with this Ten of Swords, I do feel like actually it's a good thing that whatever this is over. Now, for those of you that this does not go with our Queen of Coins in reverse from Thursday, this Ten of Swords is still a good card because it does talk about the end of something, and it's probably the end of some kind of conflict or some kind of, even if it wouldn't be to the level that you would call conflict, this can still be going back and forth with ideas, not really agreeing, having a hard time being on the same page with somebody. So the Ten of Swords just says, okay, that's over. Whatever that argument is or whatever that debate was, that's put to rest now. You don't have to be trying to figure out how to convince this other person of anything. They're not going to be trying to convince you of anything. It's just put to bed. It's no longer an issue. And so that is always a good card. I take it always as a good card because, there's a lot of effort that goes into these kinds of debates and conflicts. And, quite frankly, it's really wasted if it's not getting anywhere. It can be very non-productive. So this lets you close the door on that chapter and move on to putting your energy into something that can be more useful, helpful, productive, etc. Happiness making, blah, blah, blah. All right, so some kind of ending on Friday that allows you to close that door and move forward and open another one. Now let's look at, oh, that wasn't Saturday, excuse me, that was Friday, but I'm getting ready to move on to Saturday. And Saturday we have another queen coming up and another queen in reverse. Isn't that interesting? The Queen of Clubs in reverse. We had the Empress right side up, but our two queens came up in reverse. So interesting that we have that many female characters showing up, and also interesting about how they showed up. The big one is right side up, so that's good. Now, the Queen of Clubs in reverse, this is more about feeling not inspired, not feeling inspired to do something, or maybe you're just feeling procrastination has set in is a good way to put this when I see the Queen of Clubs in reverse. Now she is, the Queen of Clubs in general is a very cheerful, happy, peppy type person. I'm sorry, I'm laughing because my poor little aloe plant is distracting me there. I've been trying to take such good care of her that I think I've overwatered her, and because they're really sensitive about water, and now so she's kind of like, oh, I'm so heavy, I'm holding all this water, I can't stand up straight. She looks so pathetic, and so now I guess I've got to dry her out for a little while. Anyway, total diversion there. I apologize for that. Da, 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 da. And I'm not done with that diversion, actually. I had a friend tell me that her father had a lot of aloe plants and he always watered them on Sundays. So once a week they got water. And I knew that they don't take a lot of water. I hadn't been watering mine that often. And I started to. I thought, well, that's a good idea. Get a regular routine. I should have checked with my aloe plant first, apparently. She's going to come back. She'll be fine. But I could have been a little easier on her than that. Anyway, let's move on to Saturday. Queen of Clubs in reverse, not feeling very inspired about something. Now, the Queen of Clubs normally is someone who's very sunshiny, very happy, a great outgoing personality. She's very cheerful. She brings light into a room when she walks into a room. Normally, when you've got the Queen of Clubs in reverse, she's not bringing no light anywhere, honey. It's under the bushel barrel, okay? She is not feeling it. And I do feel like this is kind of how you're going to be feeling on Saturday. Like, yeah, I don't really feel like doing anything. Can somebody just show me where the bed is because I want to get underneath the comforter and all the covers. And, I really don't want to be around people. I don't want to be seen. I don't want to be heard. I just want to be quiet. I want to do nothing. And this doesn't feel like a depression type energy, which kind of sounds like that when I say it, but this is more of a rejuvenation of an I'm tired. And this could be, we've had all this Christmas stuff going on, and she's normally so cheerful and so happy that now this person, you Libras, now this person is like tired. She's worn out from, being so social and so happy. And now it's time to rejuvenate. It's time to rest. And that's what this feels like. This feels like needing some rest. Okay, and that's actually New Year's Eve. So then New Year's, you guys have a really interesting card coming up for New Year's. This is the Falling Tower. And wow, 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 wow. On one hand, I want to say, I hate to see you guys get this on New Year's Day, but on the other hand, I'm thinking this could be a pretty dramatic, good way to start the year. So, when I explain this card, maybe you'll understand why I have like two completely different directions of thought whenever I get it. So the Falling Tower, first of all, is the beginning of a story. And the beginning of this story is that you have something that makes you feel safe and secure and that you think could be there indefinitely. And what happens is it's suddenly and unexpectedly removed from your life or removed from your experience. And so that's kind of what this image depicts. These people felt safe in the tower. Now they're being expelled from it by this lightning or this fire. I don't actually see lightning in this picture. I don't know if that's a meteorite falling. I don't know. But anyway, being expelled from the safe and secure place. So that's the beginning of the story. That's kind of why part of me wants to say, oh, I'm sorry to say you're starting your new year like this. But then there's the rest of the story, which is much better, which is why it's like, this could be a dramatic, good new way to start the new year. Because the rest of the story is typically this type of thing doesn't happen to us unless we're in that secure situation and we're stagnating. We're not looking for ways to grow and expand. We are staying in the secure situation. And many times we're staying there because we're afraid to leave because it's so secure. We don't want to leave that security. We don't want to risk it by going out and growing and doing something new and different. We don't want to risk our security. And so when we're in that situation, generally that's when the universe steps in and says, I don't like to see you stagnate. Time for you to grow. Boop, out you go, right out of that tower. Now you have to look for opportunities to replace the tower. And so what happens is as you look for those opportunities, what you find is they're actually better. There are better opportunities out there for you to have the same types of things that you had before, only you don't have to be stagnating to have those types of securities again. Okay? So that's why I say it could be a good, albeit dramatic way to start the new year, actually, because you're starting off the new year looking for opportunities. It's a shame you're being forced to look for them, but you're looking for new opportunities that are actually going to turn out to be better than what it was that was taken from you. Okay, so that's your week, Libras. Thank you so much, everybody, for stopping by, for hanging out, for liking, sharing, subscribing, and commenting. I do appreciate all of your support. I know we're right here in between holidays, but I do still hope to see some of you for readings anyway, or Reiki sessions, especially if you just need some Reiki to relax and get you through the holidays. That's perfectly fine and acceptable. I can handle that. And those of you who I don't see for readings and Reiki sessions, then I'll see you in the next video. Everyone have a fantastic week. Peace out. Hello, everybody. This is Amista. And I am coming to you today with something completely different than what you've ever seen here before, completely different than what I ever thought I would do. I have been taking Reiki training, and I've gotten level 1 and I've gotten level 2, and I really want to take master training because already I've realized that there are other people out there who need to know how to be um, able to do Reiki for themselves, and I'm not qualified to show them that or to teach them that or to pass that on to them or empower them with that until I become a Reiki master. And so I was looking into a Reiki Master Program, and I meet all the qualifications as far as that goes. I've been accepted into the Master Program, but the last little bit of money is what I need some help with, and I'm hoping that you guys will help me with that. I need to raise another $3,000 to get myself into the program, and so that's where you guys come in. Um, what I'm doing is I am accepting very happily and very thankfully and very gratefully any donations that you may feel like you would want to give. If you don't want to, obviously, then don't. um, but if you do feel like you want to help me to get into this Reiki Master Apprenticeship Program, any help that any of you and all of you send is great. No donation is too small. Um, I just ask that they're over like 35 cents because I think PayPal will take 35 cents of whatever comes in as a fee for collecting payment. But anything other than over 35 cents is no donation is too small. So there's the corrected version of that. Um, and actually, I was looking I have over 7,000 subscribers. If every subscriber donated $1, I would be able to end this request. But so if you would like to donate, I would be extremely thankful. I would appreciate that a lot. Also, I want to do something for you in exchange for donating. So anybody who would donate at all, um, I would like to offer you 15 minutes of free Reiki distant healing. In other words, I would send you some healing energy where you would not have to come to my house or we would not have to meet in person. Just like I do a lot of my readings by Skype or by phone. I can also send the healing energy without having to be right in front of you. We don't even have to be on the phone or on Skype when I do it, although I will want to touch base with you ahead of time to find out where you would like me to target that energy. If you have any particular thing you want to have worked on energetically, and also to touch base after it's done just to let you know that I have sent the energy in to check in with you, see how you're feeling, that type of thing. Anybody who donates anything more than $50, what I would like to do is send you some Reiki energy. I would send you the same amount of minutes of Reiki energy as you send dollars. So say you donate $50, then I would send you 50 minutes of Reiki energy. Anybody who wants to donate and doesn't want to receive Reiki but knows somebody else that they would like to have the Reiki sent to, feel free to let me know that, and you can gift that Reiki to somebody else, and I will just touch base with them, make sure I have permission to send them that energy, and talk to them about where they would like it targeted and all of that, just like I would if I was sending that to you. So that is what I've got going on, and I really appreciate, like I said, all of the help any of you can send. I know not everybody can send, not everybody will want to send help, but I am hoping that there will be enough to get me into this quickly. Otherwise, I would probably have to wait, I don't know, 6 months, a year before I had this kind of money to get myself into there, and I don't want to wait that long. I want to be able to empower people more quickly than that. So what I'm doing is I am in the description section underneath the video. I'm going to send you a link where you can donate, and you can choose whatever amount you want to donate, and I will probably also have that showing in the video as well. So thank you, thank you, thank you everybody for listening and for giving this some thought, some prayer, some attention. And thank you everybody who actually does donate as well. I appreciate it all. Thank you so much. Peace.